straight plane. Where do you think you want to do your placement for your palpation while I'm doing that? I'm still going to be right here between my C2 and C2 and 3 segment, and then C1 and C2 to the area 1 and 2. Flexion is going to be a separation again, and then extension, a slight decrease in soft tissue tension in my patient. Okay? So again, OA, rotate. I'm up under the occiput area, occipital condyle, and I'm just doing this. So every time I do my flexion, increase in soft tissue tension, and then extension, decrease in soft tissue tension, and the same thing on this side. If I'm doing C1 and 2, increase in soft tissue tension on this side, decrease, and then the same thing here. And then neutral on 1 and 2. The same way, every time I flex, it's going to be an increase in soft tissue tension, and then decrease in soft tissue tension and extension. Now I'm going to do my flexion. So I'm going to want Elliot to extend his head all the way towards me here. Sorry, come on. C7, T1, a little more. So this is my beginning here. So I'm going to have a good palpation. So I'm going to be using my right hand to be able to drive it. Every time I do a PIVM assessment on my cervical spine, I'm going to start with my interspinous processes. Okay? So I'm going to do mid-level. I'm going to pick, for example, 3 and 4. I'm just going to come up. And every time I flex, what should I feel here? Increase in soft tissue tension and separation of my 2 spinous processes. Come back here. I'm going to do intersegmental. The same thing, increase in soft tissue tension between my spinous processes and this way. Okay? I could do that in sitting as well. I'm just going to lower my table. I'm going to serve your energy. So use your leg as a bracing mechanism for your patient. Come up. I don't want you to use 4 fingers. Why is that? As a start of practice. If I'm using 4 fingers, what tends to happen in your reverse homunculus? It's going to be all over your sensory cortex. So I want you to start with 2 because this is well represented in your sensory cortex, but at the same time, use the tips of it because it's highly sensitive, well represented in your primary sensory cortex, so that gives me direct connection on how I feel in terms of the separation and decrease in soft tissue tension. Okay? So that's your flexion. If I do my extension, I'm going to come up a bit. The same placement, nothing really changed. So, decrease in soft tissue tension, interspinous processes. Lower, come up to neutral, come up to neutral. Can you guys appreciate that I'm not going beyond the neutral? Makes a big difference in your patient when you do this testing. Where is the point of your palpation for your side bending? I'm going to start with side bending to your left. So this is going to be my driver, my left hand. Where should be my point of palpation? I'm going to be on the facet joints of my patient, between 2 transverse processes. I want to be able to feel that separation because I'm side bending, and it's almost posterolateral. I'm not going to be like posterior. I want to be able to be here because I'm doing that gapping. When you think about it, I want to be able to feel right here. Would that make sense? Instead of here, posterolateral because I'm opening that segment. It's almost in between the transverse processes, but at the same time, my index is in between the transverse processes, but my middle finger is in between the facets. So I'm really capturing that movement on my patient for the separation as I move Elliot's neck to the other side. So I'm going to use a grip here. I'm going to use my shoulder. And that should be a separation. Be careful here. If your hand is all over the neck of your patient, you're going to get some multiple sensory input on your patient. Side bending, separation, intersegmental. And then if I want to do rotation, you could do your chin cradle grip. So the same thing, posterolateral. So you almost like side bending your trunk to the left as you perform your testing. So let me do that here. Let's do the side bending first. neutral, posterolateral, separation, neutral, and then neutral. Rotation, side bend your trunk, you're sitting or standing. I would highly encourage you to just palpate away from it because you could feel a lot more separation in your patient. Okay?
Thank you.
Bless you. Any question?